Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with the reading for the second half of June, from the 15th to the 30th. Now, why am I here? We all know that in the second half of the month, on the 20th, there's the solstice, winter and summer solstice, depending on which hemisphere you are in. And on the 21st, there is the solar eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse. Now, because of this very powerful energy, I think it would be really important if we talk about the solstice a little bit so you can get into the ritualistic state of mind. So what is this solstice? It's the time in every summer or winter, depending on where you are, when the sun reaches its highest peak in our sky, and each winter when it reaches its lowest point. So these events are the solstices, and they correspond with each of our own rhythms. And this is really important, helping us to understand what and where to focus on in this changing cycle of life. They're powerful points, as I mentioned, in the celebration of light. And it's a moment when you should honor your path and consciously expand. Let's talk a bit about the power of the sun. It's no surprise that the sun is one of the most powerful planets, natural forces. I don't want to call it a planet. It has had so much importance in human history. So the history of humans honoring and worshiping and revering the sun spans all different kinds of cultures, times, and dimensions. Now, there are symbols of the sun, like the compass with a center point and a circle, a dot in between, that are highly spiritual, have highly spiritual significance for us. And at the basis of this entire ritualistic period is the idea of change, the idea of cycles, the idea of changing season, much like this cycles of sowing and harvesting. They've always been key points in the human life cycle. So the continuing changing of the seasons also represents certain specific stages in your inner journey. I would say the soul journey. Every year, on and around the solstice, a beautiful energetic spike and an opening to a higher realm of spirit is created. So this is why I'm spending a few minutes talking about this. This is due to the Earth's alignment with the great central sun and the galactic center. Now, just as the cycles of the sun, there are peaks and lows in your spiritual journey, in our spiritual journey. There are times to move forward, times to share, times to go inward, times to reflect, and times to extend yourself, times to step back, and even the dark nights of the soul that many of us know very well. We are human after all. Now, in this way, the solstice is a natural way to reconnect with life's divine plan and to feel a deep connection to all of life and the natural world. So it's important to reflect on our journey, on your journey, because it's a way to celebrate the solstice. You honor and you celebrate your unique journey, our unique journey, and the cycles within walking a spiritual path and living a human life as well. These rituals, these solstice rituals, include everything from simple gatherings, bonfires, community celebrations, dance, ceremonies, and the telling of stories. The storytelling has always spanned the ages, and each of these rituals can remind you just how connected you are with all life. Now, in history, by participating in rituals, people felt understood, and simultaneous, at the same time, they felt more intimate with nature. And though humanity has largely lost today connection to these ceremonies and understandings, it's not too late. Okay, it's not too late to tap into the power of the sun and its influence, its powerful influence over our lives. Now, there are 7 cycles, rituals that I would like to suggest. 7 solstice rituals that celebrate the changing cycles. You celebrate your light and honor the energy of the solstice with these simple solstice rituals to bring and attract joy and love and light into your life. The first is rising and shine. You rise and shine with the light. So right when you wake up on the day of the solstice, and I'm speaking to you at least a week before, just about a week before even putting your feet on the floor, allow yourself to generate and be filled with a sense of light and joy. Tune into all that you have to be grateful for, while you visualize light energy filling you and all around you. Invite in the presence of your guides and angels, spirit guides and angels, the presence of divine light and the energy and vibration of love. Let yourself bask and be filled with divine light. Put yourself in the center of this light and this positive energy, and feel the oneness and connection with the divine and all that is. When you're ready, begin to imagine the positive energy of the light is now rippling out around you to the entire universe. That's the first. The second one is a candlelight meditation. You find a quiet place and space indoors, and you light a candle and begin to focus inward. As you consciously relax and you breathe, gaze gently into the candle. Enjoy simply being there, breathing, and reflecting on the qualities of the light that you see in that candle. Begin to tune into the vast supply of light around you, as well as the light that you carry within you at all times. When you're ready, close your eyes and visualize your light glowing brighter and brighter and brighter within. You relax, you breathe, and you let go of the need to focus on the world around you. And instead, allow yourself to drift in a relaxed and peaceful meditative state. The third ritual is to experience your oneness with Mother Earth. Walk outside and sink your feet into the earth. Take your shoes off, put your feet into the earth. Feel your energy grounding to the core of Mother Earth in a column of light, as if the light would be traversing you from top to the ground. Visualize the light pouring into your crown chakra at the top of your head and warming you, refreshing your energy and filling your aura with the divine life consciousness present in the fresh sunlight. As you stand on the earth, on Mother Earth, with your feet apart, your arms uncrossed, and your hands facing up in a gesture of receiving, feel the sun's healing warmth in every part of your body. Breathe in the sunbeams. Feel the light filling your spinal column. Enjoy this deep connection to the earth. In my recent videos, the live videos, many of you have asked me, how can I contact my guides? How can I, during meditation, I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything. Try to take it one step at a time. And the solstice is an excellent time to do this. Another ritual is to honor the directions. What do I mean by the directions? Many indigenous tribes and ancient cultures around the world have observed for a long time and celebrated the directions. There's a special kind of power that you can tap into by turning into them. To do this, and in addition to the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, I also like to tune into the sky, the earth, and the light within. And as you tune into each direction, face that way. Face east, face west, face north, south, in, above, and below. Movement, dance, or yoga are wonderful ways to further experience this connection with each of these sacred directions. Now, another ritual is to set your intentions, and this is probably the most important. The most important. You find a quiet space to relax and breathe and focus inside. When you've reached a deeper meditative state of mind, set the intention to feel a sense of transcendence and oneness. Visualize this sensation being rooted within you and then expanding outward to impact all other areas of your life. Next, begin to think about specific areas you would like to expand upon in your daily life. Perhaps your relationships, expressing joy, experiencing perhaps greater love, greater abundance, manifesting a new opportunity, a promotion at work, or whatever is important for you during the next 6 months. If you are doing this ritual during the winter solstice, those of you down under, in that southern hemisphere, think about those things that you would like to remove from your life, focusing more on what you want to release so you can then begin to move forward. Okay. Give thanks for the opportunity to focus on this work. That's how we should always end our rituals. Now, another one is what I call the fire ceremony. Solstice. I knew I was going to get my tongue tied. Solstice fire ceremony. Either summer or winter, fire is always a wonderful way to honor and celebrate the light as humanity has always done during the centuries. Honoring the solstice with fire is simple. You light a candle or make a small fire outdoors and let yourself reflect on the beauty and qualities of the light. And on a piece of paper, you write down things you have accomplished, things you have finished, things you have done, things you've accomplished during the last 6 months. And this is just to take a minute and then read what you've written and read it out loud before burning the paper in celebration and gratitude. Letting go of any attachment to the past and paving the way for new opportunities, manifestations, and accomplishments in the future is what this ritual usually does. And the last one I would like to mention is to create a solstice altar. Probably I should have said this in the beginning, but maybe at the end of all that we've done, it still will make sense to you. A solstice is the perfect opportunity to spend some time with your personal altar. Many of you may not even know what that is. I used to have an altar when I was such a child. My sisters used to think I was crazy. They thought I would become an ecclesiastic a priest or a nun or some high priestess, and they would make fun of me all the time. Whether you make this altar inside through meditation, where you see that earth sanctuary place, that meditation, or outside of you on the form of an actual physical altar. I use my window as my altar. It doesn't matter. It could be inside or outside if you have the space, but creating a physical altar, a place actually that you can see, is a fun way to create a physical representation of your inner connection to the light and the divine, and to represent the energies you're inspired to connect with, to build, to manifest in your life. So in order to create a solstice altar, first, find some sort of table or shelf. Like I said, I use my window. It's right under light. So every time I put my crystals there, any full moon, every moon cycle, they're always in the light of the moon. And somewhere the light can shine in to that altar, because the solstice is all about light. Now, whenever you choose to create your altar, choose colors of fabric, objects, candles that remind you of the sun, of light, citrine, for example. And it reminds you of your spirituality and of the connection that you have with the divine, the sun, and the natural world. And more importantly, with you yourself. Remember that the solstice is a time of celebration and connection. Let that altar you create remind you of all of this that is personal to you. Now, I'd like to end with that on the solstice, but before we go on, I'd like to explain how I'll be doing the readings before I go into it. I'll be using a tarot deck, which is called Intuiti. It's Intuiti Creative Cards. Why am I using this? This is a deck that I have found, and it was created by a group of researchers in Milan, and they studied thousands and thousands of different tarot decks around the world and from different cultures. And they created a deck with major arcana and minor arcanas that are completely different from the universal tarot, the Rider-Waite. It's completely different. Similar in many meanings, I have to say. So there are 22 majors, and there are the rest minor. And there are the numbers from 1 to 10, plus the page, queen, knight, and king and knight. And they change around the order of the court cards. Instead of having the king in the end, is the knight in the end, because they give a certain specific importance to the knight. And they have 4 suits: the air, water, fire, and earth. So it's quite interesting, because it allows you to break away from the set meanings of the tarot cards that are similar, the Rider-Waite has inculcated in our minds, and lets us be more intuitive, allow for more intuition to seep through in our interpretation of the cards and the visions that we see. So this will be fun, and I'll be using, of course, my runes at the end, and if I need clarification, I'll do that. So on to the readings. Namaste. And right under each reading, ladies and gentlemen, how it resonated, if it resonated. What was it about the reading you liked? What was it about the reading you don't like? Then they say in Italian, you have to have wide shoulders for criticism. Well, my shoulders are pretty wide. I'll take it. Have fun, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back, and on to the readings. Hello, Virgo. It's Christelle here with a reading for you for June 15th to the 30th. Let's see what's in store for you for the period June 15th to the 30th. Spirit, show me what's in store for my friends, Virgo friends, from June 15th to the 30th. What's in store? What's that energy around Virgo for that period? Spirit, show me what's in store for Virgo from the 15th to the 30th of June. One more. Okay. We have the 22nd major arcana in this deck. It's a butterfly. It's a butterfly. The real madman is not a person who faces danger carelessly. Okay? It's not a person who faces danger carelessly, but he's aware, he or she is aware of the consequences and jumps in anyway. And with his eyes open, their eyes open, because it's possible to see the energy that prepares them for the leap. Now, it's a passionate spark, often mistaken for insanity, but it's much, much more. It's the ardor of life. It's the passion of life. It's the convictions that our ideals are what moves us, and our unconditional faith in our dreams. This is what this card is all about, our unconditional faith in our dreams. Then we have here an earth sign. This is the 3 of earth, and the 3 of earth talks about something shifting into an equilibrium of 2. It's a complementary spiritual shift here. And this speaks about your journey. This speaks about your journey in this period. Another earth sign here, the 10 of earth, and the 10 is finally the new equilibrium with the number 10, and it's a focus. So you're working toward your equilibrium state, and you have that unconditional faith in your dreams. And thank the Lord for that. We have here the air sign, the Queen of Air. And this is the presence of the symbol of air on the horizontal and the vertical line here. And it's an active movement this Queen is giving you, an active intellectual movement in this period, which allows you to be extremely creative, Virgo. Here we have another earth. There's plenty of earth here. The 7 of earth. And the 7 is a card that alters the system's equilibrium. Now, I've seen this in this way where there is equilibrium, then it's offset. Then there is equilibrium, then it's offset. And usually towards the end of the month, and this is what I'm looking at here for you as well, Virgo, there is the drive toward a new cycle, a new project that is coming, something new, because we've finished. We have ordered our mental ideas in a way that we can now prepare for something new. All right, now let me take the runes to see what how they can crown the reading. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to give you first all of the Merkstave, the upside down runes, and usually it alters the reading of that specific rune. I'll start with Otela, which is Merkstave, and it talks about things that money can buy. Well, we're not talking about that for you, Virgo. We're talking about things that your intellect can buy. You will not be consumed by an ideal or vision. So let's put that off to the side. We have Urus, which is Merkstave, and Urus is usually strength and vital force. It's energy. So here it usually talks about a recovery from illness. No, there is no sacrifice. You are determined, and you do have that unconditional faith in your dreams, but there is no low energy cycle for you here. We have Thurisats, which is also in a Merkstave position, and Thurisats talks usually of protection and luck. Well, there's not much of that for you this period of time, or ardent, burning passion. No, what I see is calculated risk here. And with your determination and unconditional faith in your dreams, it's all about a calculated risk. Let me see, what else do I have? That is Merkstave. I do have Feihu here, which is fulfillment, a romantic or financial gain. But in the Merkstave position, there's not going to be extreme fulfillment. It is going to be a drive toward financial gain and romantic gain. Tyr also is Merkstave. So I'm giving you all the worst first, okay? So usually it's in this position. This is usually talks about victory in competition, extreme motivation, but an increase in power, an increase in money. Well, there's not going to be that in this period for you, but you are moving in a subtle way because you're concentrating on your dreams with the conviction of your dreams, the conviction of your dreams that are propelling you forward. Then we have another Keenats here is Merkstave, and usually it would be like this. Keenats is all about a warm strength, energy, power, starting something new. Here, like I said, it's all about moving in subtle ways to get you towards the goal, which is your dreams. Now, we've got, okay, I'll give you Hagalas, this, oh, every time I see it, I go nuts. Because it talks about limitations. It talks about forces outside of your control. It talks about the time not being right. It talks about limit. Okay, we get it. We get it. But why did I show you this now? I showed you this now because the other runes give temper what Hagal tells us. Now, let's start with need, because need 2 is a friggin' rune that tells you that there's a delay and you need patience. Patience, patience. Okay, Virgo, I'm telling you, you need patience. All right. But we have Rido here. Now, Rido is a rune of movement, of travel, of literally going places. And it's a good time also to negotiate. And you will be receiving news that is expected in this period. Now I've got some beautiful 2 final runes here. I've got Yera. Yera is the harvest. It's a karmic reward for your efforts. And this will take time, but it is coming. Justice, legalities. If you're expecting a ruling, the ruling will be coming in. Then we have Manats, this beautiful, beautiful rune, which is humankind. It's interdependence. It's all about being part of a network that you know fully well, and you're exploiting that network. You will receive aid, and it's time to start new plans, which will be starting at the very tail end of the month, Virgo. I do hope this was of help to you. Namaste until we read together again. Bye-bye, Virgo.